Carolinas. Ron and Pierce.
Action News, Delaware Valley's leading news program, with Scott Palmer, Dave Roberts, Lisa Thomas-Laurie, and Mark Howard.
Good evening. In the news, one of 3 men convicted of gunning down Philadelphia police officer Laretha Baird is sentenced today.
And it's also sentencing day for the grandmother convicted of feeding expired parking meters for drivers she didn't even know.
But the big story on Action News tonight is a snowy reminder that spring has not yet sprung. A helping of snow and sleet and rain fell today. Right now, things are a little tricky for commuters as temperatures are just around the freezing mark. You're looking at a live picture right now. That's the Schuylkill Expressway westbound, and it's bumper to bumper. It is a mess. Traffic's been this way for the last hour, and it may just continue on through the rush hour. The Schuylkill westbound, very slow. Now, this sleet and snow started to fall at the tail end of this morning's rush hour. This is the picture in Doylestown, Bucks County. Big flakes of snow coming down as the winter storm moves slowly over the area. It continues to hang around through much of the afternoon, with snow following first a layer of icy sleet. It's been quite a turnaround from the spring-like warmth of a day or so ago. Let's go outside to Dave Roberts now and get the very latest on all this from AccuWeather. Dave?
Well, the messy mix is going to continue, Mark, for a couple of hours, and then it's going to turn all over to rain and drizzle. Action Radar will show you the system that we've been tracking, and you can see it's a quick-moving system, and we're just about at the tail end of it right now. Break that down for you, Action Radar, to the mix, and we'll show you the snow. We'll show the snow to our north, and then that line that stretches right through Philadelphia there, and it's just the mix line's just about north of Atlantic City now, and Wilmington. They're both in the rain area, and that's what we are anticipating. So the call from AccuWeather is we can anticipate wet snow, rain, and sleet until about 7 o'clock this evening here on City Line Avenue. The main road is just wet, but a lot of slush on side roads. And from 7 o'clock tonight until midnight, then we expect showers and drizzle. Now, the overnight low is 33 degrees. That's what we're shooting for. We're hanging at 34 degrees for this hour. So all in all, it appears we're going to stay at just above the freezing mark, which is good, and temperatures are supposed to rise. Tomorrow we'll be back into the mid-40s. So all of this that's coming down now will not ice up overnight. That's the call from AccuWeather. But it's going to continue till about 7 o'clock this evening. Then from about 7 to midnight, the showers and drizzle just hang on. But for now, here on City Line Avenue, at the current time, we have a mixture of showers and a little sleet mixed in. That's the very latest. Lisa?
Thank you, Dave. Well, this winter storm has been causing problems all over the Delaware Valley. Let's check in now with Suzanne LaFranchi. She's live on Route 611 in Abington for the latest on conditions there. Suzanne?
Well, Lisa, within the last few minutes or so, the snow has stopped here in Abington Township, and it looks as though it has turned into sleet and freezing rain here. However, traffic behind me, and we are on the edge of 611, seems to be flowing fairly well. The roadways are wet. There is some slush, but the commuters seem to be taking it slow. And we've had a wintry mix throughout the Delaware Valley all day long. The snowfall created a picture postcard effect in Chestnut Hill. Most people didn't seem to mind Old Man Winter's surprising return.
It doesn't look like I'm going to have to shovel it, so I'm happy about that.
But the messy combination created slippery driving and walking conditions.
Cold, damp, and wet.
The pansies at the trolley stop in Chestnut Hill were snow-covered. Flower shop owner Ed Palmer says the wintry weather kept shoppers indoors.
Pretty wet. Real lousy. Very lousy.
Some didn't want to take any chances, opting to stock up on salt.
We've been lucky so far, and I hope it continues.
Experts at the Morris Arboretum say outdoor plant lovers shouldn't worry about the wintry mess. They say flowering bulb plants are very resilient.
I think we're a couple weeks ahead in blooming this spring because of the warm weather we've had. But like I said, the bulbs won't have any problem. They'll survive just fine with this. This is a mild cold snap.
Yet others have a more philosophical attitude about Mother Nature's weather flip-flop.
My mother used to say, if you get January and February, you can march on through.
So the word for this rush hour is caution. Take it slow. Some of the roads are icy out there tonight. For now, I'm Suzanne LaFranchi reporting live in the action cam from Abington Township.
Thank you, Suzanne.
And now on.
Fall out from under no rocks. We didn't have no tails, and we didn't come from monkeys. You atheistic pinko meathead.
Archie Bunker on gun control.
Did you know that 65% 95% of the people murdered in the last 10 years were killed by handguns?
Would it make you feel any better, little girl, if they was pushed out of windows?
And now Archie Bunker on video cassette with All in the Family, the Collector's Edition. The Emmy-winning sitcom that broke all the rules. Yours for only $4.95 plus shipping and handling for your first 4-episode video cassette. Now you can experience the legendary wisdom of America's foremost expert on everything. Archie Bunker on politics.
And Salvatore, Feldman, O'Reilly, Nelson. It's an Italian, a Jew, an Irishman, and a regular American. What I call a balanced ticket.
You'll even hear from Archie on the job.
To get your first 4-episode video for only $4.95, have your credit card ready and call toll-free 1-800-779-6611.
If you headed up towards Fousey.
Local 4.
This edition of WeatherScope is brought to you by Century 21, the #1 real estate organization. When you're this big, you can do things others can't.
Next on WeatherScope, the storm system that brought flooding rains to the Ohio Valley now threatens the Northeast with a dose of winter. And as cleanup of the weekend's massive tornado damage moves into high gear, the potential arises for more severe weather in the South. Those stories plus in-depth forecast and analysis in this edition of WeatherScope.
Winter returns to the Northeast while severe thunderstorms still threaten parts of the South again today. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Lisa Moser. More about the severe weather potential in a moment, but first we go to the Forecast Center for Declan Cannon's update and a closer look at the Northeast and why the current weather conditions could make for a very troubled rush hour. Good afternoon, Declan.
Good afternoon, Lisa. That's right. The snow picked up in intensity around New York City. Let's go ahead and show you some of that wet snow around Manhattan. Earlier this afternoon, the snow pushed on into the city from the southwest. And you can actually see the sky starting to gray there behind the skyscrapers. Many folks pulled out the umbrellas to ward off the wet flakes. Then the snow started picking up in intensity. We've had a period of about 1.5 to 2.5 hours of moderate to heavy snow. The snow is now letting up around New York City. However, we do expect the snow to pick up once again. And we'll show you why in just a moment. There's the satellite view. And you can see the big cloud canopy stretching from northern Maine, thin cirrus clouds, and then we go back to extreme western Maryland as you head just east of Garrett County. That's the center of the upper storm. The low-level storm is still stuck down here in the foothills of the Appalachians, and the upper storm has outraced the low-level storm, and that tends to happen occasionally in the atmosphere when you have these very fast-moving upper-level systems. There's the surface low, and not much of a feature at this point in time, not very strong, but the front is actually draped over northern North Carolina. North of this front, the air gets progressively colder and colder and colder as you're heading from Raleigh to D.C. Cold rain in D.C. and over in Dulles, around Dulles out in northern Virginia, 1.37 inches of precipitation. That's a daily record for Dulles, the observing site, but just moderate to heavy snow pushing through southern Connecticut, Long Island, and in fact we're still getting some heavy snow from JFK eastbound on the island. Ice slips MacArthur Field out at Suffolk Field as we get out to West Hampton in eastern Suffolk County, Riverhead, folks out in Coram and Center Reach getting some pretty decent snow at this point in time, and then the snow starts to let up as we go from the city west out to Wayne. We had a call from Wayne, New Jersey, about an hour ago, and they were indicating some snow-covered roads, slushy accumulation, about 2 inches approximately on the grassy surfaces. Now you can see there's a brief break in the dark green here, the darkest green heading out across the island. The radar echoes tend to lessen here as we go from the city west out to the hills in Jersey, but there's going to be another dose of heavier snow, we think, pushing in, and the reason for that is the upper storm just ahead of it as you cut across extreme north central Maryland now and into southernmost Lancaster County. Some of the snow starting to pick up once again around Lancaster, and this, generally speaking, should work its way right across southeastern Pennsylvania, head up towards the city. So we do expect the snow to pick up once again in the next couple of hours, and it is quite possible within this zone where we have the upper support that you could see snowfall rates of about 1 inch an hour. That should last for maybe 2 hours as it crosses the city. So we do expect travel conditions to worsen as we head into the early evening hours and then improve later on tonight. Farther to the south, the precipitation really shuts off as you head west to the eastern shore of Maryland. As we mentioned, Baltimore, just some cold rain down to D.C. North side of Baltimore, we've had reports of rain and sleet mixing in occasionally, especially once you head north of Timonium and Towson. As you get up to Bel Air, we had a report earlier this afternoon of some slippery driving conditions, so be advised if you leave Baltimore in the cold rain as you're heading up towards the state line, there could be some nasty conditions for you. There's the expectations through noon tomorrow. We could see anywhere from 3 to 6 across central and northern Jersey across the city, and then heading into Connecticut and especially southern coastal Rhode Island. Winter storm warning is in effect. The accumulations could be in excess of 6.
All right, let's take a look at where the action cam was today, and this kind of reflects the day that we had. It's a pretty scene, but it's pretty dismal and dreary as the rain and the mixture of snow, sleet, and rain is just going to kind of hang on about another hour or so. Show the numbers. Today's high 44 degrees, our low 33. That's our present temperature reading. We do not expect it to drop much below that. And the winds out of the northeast at 10 miles an hour. For tonight, AccuWeather says the messy mix will be ending about 7 o'clock. Then after that, showers and drizzle. We're going to hang at that 33 degrees. For tomorrow, Tuesday, possibility of a little drizzle in the morning, a high of 46 degrees, so there's moderation there and the snow will melt, but a mostly cloudy day. If we have a breakout of this system, we could possibly see some late afternoon sunshine. For Wednesday, a high of 56 degrees, then on Thursday, a high of 48 degrees. Well, what is left of a deadly storm system that is now moving over our area entered the United States late last week. We're going to track the storm in tonight's AccuFacts file for you. Watch the development. The storm dropped into the northwest on Thursday and swung into Texas on Saturday. Yesterday, the storm slammed into June-like warm air coming north from the Gulf of Mexico. Now that produced deadly tornadoes from Texas to Alabama, heavy rains to the north and east. Take a look at these scenes. Yesterday, as several tornadoes ravaged parts of Arkansas. Unbelievable destruction out of this system. As the storm moved north over us, it's producing a messy mix of snow, sleet, and rain, but it should be out of here later on this evening. We expect the showers and the drizzle to hang on until about midnight. So again, very fortunate in this area. The system did not have any of the intensity of that system.
Fun story here with this latest blast of winter weather. It's the perfect time to show you the hottest new items in winter sports. Flora Pastorero reports now on 2 great ways.
It was Beckley, I believe. Secondary low trying to form now off of the Delmarva Peninsula. There's your radar. Let's roll this into motion, see what's going on here. We have snow back to about Johnstown, PA. The Ohio Valley seems to always allow enough warm air to come up to keep it primarily rain in Pittsburgh. That's the case now. And again, around Baltimore, it has been rain, some thunderstorms. Now, this heavier rain is getting into the colder air. It looks like a couple of thunderstorms may be holding together as they cross the Mason-Dixon line. So heading up towards Downingtown, Pennsylvania, Brandywine, that area, the rain quickly turns over to snow, and it could be very heavy for a while out here in Chester County, PA, and likewise heading up into central and northern Montgomery and Bucks County. Then getting into the tri-state, this is just about all snow. Getting a little break now up around Middletown, New York, out towards Wilkes-Barre. But this is all going to come up now. We can take you a little closer in and we can roll this into motion, and you'll see the movement of this heavier area of rain and snow starting to track to the northeast, heading up along the New Jersey Turnpike. And as it does so, it will bring an enhanced period of snow. Already snow is picking up in Trenton, and it's this area in here, out towards Downingtown and Brandywine, PA, that'll be tracking up in this general area. So right in this corridor, right through here, I'd say around Somerset County and Union County, you're going to see some heavy snow the next few hours. A little lighter to the north of the city, and also, by the way, very heavy snowfall out on the island out there in the LIE. So Suffolk County is getting blitzed with heavy snow. We will get some breaks, but then the main event should start to wind down as we get towards the bewitching hour in New York. Snow should be about over. Philadelphia, snow and rain, the whole gloppy mess should be over in about 3